Good morning. I'm McKinzie Roth. It is week 10 of the NFL season. Make some noise. All right.
Oh, yeah. Now we go.
Crew in-house. We are here on All Indiana Bets.
My name is Jason Hammer. I haven't shaved in a week because when you're on a hot streak or maybe you lose a bet, you don't shave.
It's impressive.
I must have been on a hot streak for a month. Look at this. And we have got winners today, and it's all going to happen right here, right now.
Let's go.
There we go.
Let's do this.
This is All Indiana Bets, presented for the people, powered by Caesars Sportsbook and LUNAZUL Tequila. Feed the wolf.
Happy Sunday, fun day, and welcome to another NFL Sunday edition of All Indiana Bets. We've got a party in the house today. We are so happy. Now, before we get to these games, Hammer, I have to ask you one question.
Yes.
And one question only. What is happening with your face?
So this is the best I could do. I've got the facial hair growth ability of a 7-year-old child. I lost a bet to Scott.
Let's get into that a second, by the way. I have done 7 this year, and not one time have I lost
Look
a
at that.
challenge bet. There we go. Hammer.
Wow.
So
Look at that. How long have you been trying to grow?
That's
a
8
week.
days. This is 8 days, and this is all I can do.
This is when Justin Bieber tried to grow a
Hey,
mustache. That is what that
McKenzie,
is.
can you actually put a real mustache on him? Because
We're doing this?
Yes, we're going to do this.
We're going to do
It's
this.
a Burt Reynolds. You'll look
It's a
nice
Burt
that
Reynolds.
way. I was going to shave my beard. I'm actually been looking forward to, but I can't lose. So actually, Hammer had an amazing week last week. 4-1. Only bet he loses. The challenge.
Right.
Okay, come here.
I'm picking
here, we
NFL
gotta put
games
some hair
close
on
to
you.
70% this
Come on
year,
over here.
but I can't beat Scott in a bet.
Well,
Can you put on your little mustache? There we
Yeah,
go.
there we go.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, that looks good. Yes.
So much more manly.
Can I
now.
do my Burt Reynolds laugh?
Yeah, please.
Can you?
For a second, we had a live show, meaning 4 people were in the studio.
We were
That's
super
all our fans showed up. It was
Anthony
great.
Calhoun just walked out of here in disgust, seeing how we were opening up the show here today.
You see, we love it. All right, shall we get to some football?
Yeah. Let's do
That
it.
is a lot of
Let's
fun.
do
We'll
it.
get back to that. But coming off a win over the Jets last Thursday, the well-rested Colts return to Lucas Oil Stadium to host the Jacksonville Jaguars today. Indy is a big 10-point favorite over the Jags team that comes in with a 2-6 record. Now, Colts have a couple of big games with the Bills, Buccaneers on the horizon. So, Scott, I'm going to ask you this one. Could this be a potential trap game for the horseshoe?
I would generally say always in that situation. The
Yeah.
Colts just dominated last week, but what did they almost do at the same time? Blow the spread. They almost blew that spread. It was insane. I don't know. We'll see why I don't think it's a trap game in a second, but ultimately, the Jaguars, they played their game of the year last week.
Right. I'm kind of
sense,
with
right?
Scott on this one. I felt a lot better last week picking the Colts with a big number. Then the Bills go out and lay down against the Jags. So what am I supposed to do with this information? It can go one of 2 ways. Either the Jags have turned a corner or the Bills completely crap the bed here. I think it's more the latter. So I'm not above this big number with the Colts and the Jags. History shows these games are usually pretty close, but not really in Indy. The Jags are good for one win against the Colts seemingly every year, but it's not really necessarily a game in Indy. 10 is a big number. I like the fact that it went down from 10.5, to be honest with you, because it was hovering at 10.5 for a couple days.
All right. Well, hey, with kickoff less than an hour away, let's head out to Lucas Oil Stadium. That's where we find our very own Charlie Clifford and Olivia Ray with this week's Checkdown.
Morning, guys. Roof closed, thankfully, here, Olivia.
Snowy outside.
Warm inside. Injury reports we need to get to before kickoff. Olivia, starting with the Colts offense.
Yeah, healthiest it's been all season. T.Y. Hilton back in the starting lineup for just his 3rd game this season on his 32nd birthday. How about that? We're hoping for some magic from the ghost. Little birthday treat there for him.
I'm in for that. Defensively, Xavier Rhodes out at cornerback, so Isaiah Rodgers is going to start. But Olivia, I know a lot of Colts fans, Rhodes has struggled this year. So can Isaiah Rodgers maybe steal a starting spot on the defense? But Trevor Lawrence, too, we got to look at his ankle, injured in the win against the Bills. So although the Colts come in as a double-digit favorite for the second straight week, you got to take this Jags team. We know where it's been the last 2 years.
Always give them a game. They're not great here in Lucas Oil. 5 of their last 15, I believe. But, you know, the Jags usually win one against the Colts in each of these 2-game matchups each season.
Cannot be this week, that's for sure.
No.
Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Charlie. Miss Olivia, before we get to our picks, we want to know about this game. Hammer, do you have any prop bets for the big Colts game?
Yes. Now,
right.
most of the season I've been hitching my wagon to Jonathan Taylor, right? How many bets have we won betting on Jonathan Taylor over on yardage, over on carries? Ever since that primetime game at home in front of the nation where Jonathan Taylor had his basic coming out party, Las Vegas odds makers have decided, all right, we understand what's going on here. We're going to level the playing field. So the odds on Jonathan Taylor have gone up substantially. So you got to find value somewhere else. And I like value in Carson Wentz today. Over 1.5 touchdown passes. This is a bet that you can make right now on most sports books. Of the 10 weeks we've had an NFL season, there's only been twice where Carson Wentz has not thrown for 2 or more touchdown passes. You have to go back to week 3 against the Tennessee Titans to find a place where Carson Wentz did not throw at least 2 or more touchdown passes. So I'm going to go over 1.5 with Carson Wentz today. What we've learned about Frank Reich is if he gets close to the end zone, he likes to air it out a little bit. So we're going over 1.5 with Carson Wentz.
All right, the Hammer has spoken. Scott, you have a pick on the Colts game. What you got?
Well, as I mentioned, I think that the Colts, this is a good spot for the Colts. Normally, you come off a big TV game, and then you're facing a team that you just don't think really can handle the 10.5 points. It's down to 10, like you said. Our producer's like, can you give me a pick on the game? I'm like, hey, can we make it 10? Somehow, Peter made it 10 by the time we showed up on Sunday. Now I'm down with that. That hook, you don't have to ask Hammer about it last night. He'd be 5-0 in the colleges yesterday if that hook hadn't have gotten away. I like the Colts in this situation. One of the reasons why I like them so much is because Jacksonville really does not have quality skill people. Travis Etienne got hurt at the start of the year. The wide receivers are below average. And ultimately, I just think the Colts are at least a 2-touchdown game in this. I don't think we'll take the pedal off the metal like we did against the Jets. We.
All right,
We.
we. Hammer?
Colts.
First of all, let me just say this. When I become the governor of the state of Indiana, anybody that says Jaguars with a W will be sent to Guantanamo Bay.
Wow.
Okay.
Jaguars. There's no W.
Scott, say it.
Jaguars.
No.
I like the Colts in this one too. I love the fact that that hook went away. It went from 10.5 to 10. And for those who know betting, you know how big of a deal that is. That means that a touchdown and a field goal, worst case scenario, you can push. You can get beat by the hook. I learned that yesterday with a college bet. The Colts are just better than Jacksonville. This is a home game. The Colts have had more rest, more time to study up a little bit, and Trevor Lawrence has a bum ankle. I think that's going to affect his rollout ability. Colts have had problems with quarterbacks rolling out on them. I like the Colts in this one. I take that up to 13, to be honest.
All right, I like it. I like it a lot. We're going to head to the bar. I know it's early, but that's what we do on this show.
Sounds good.
Let's make you some money. It's time for a break. When we continue, there are a few noteworthy trends you might want to keep in mind before placing any NFL bets today. We're going to dive into the numbers coming up next. Don't go anywhere. All Indiana Bets returns.
Jaguars.
No W.
Jags.
All Indiana Bets is presented by LUNAZUL Tequila. Feed the wolf.
Welcome back. Hey, just got back to from the bar. Thank you very much. Welcome back, as I was saying.
Now, did people ever, do you watch our show and get thirsty? Because you know who does? The production department of Wish. They're
Lindsay behind the camera is like, guys, what the heck?
Can you get our director a drink?
our guys.
Yeah. So cheers to all you guys. We will. I hope you're making your own drinks. I hope it's LUNAZUL Tequila.
Yes.
Or one of the delicious Heaven Hill beverages.
Welcome to the party.
I should perform your comedy show at your Christmas party.
Welcome.
Go ahead.
Okay. As I was saying, here we go. Well, we like everyone to get loose and have a good time. That's what we do, make you some money. Okay, so we're now we're over halfway through the NFL season. So we've got a pretty good sample size of games at this point. And we've seen two major trends emerge. Okay, let's take a look at some of the numbers, shall we? As you can see, home teams and favorites have really struggled so far this year. Teams that are favored on their home fields are covering at just a 38% clip. So Hamer, I want to take it to you. How do you explain these numbers? And do you expect this to continue as the season goes on?
Well, that doesn't make you feel good if you're a Colts bettor today, right? Heavy home favorite. Home favorites, according to the numbers, have had their backside handed to them. But you got to remember, a lot of these numbers were the first 3 weeks of the NFL season. Every year, underdogs, especially road dogs, cover the spread. It happened this year, it happened last year, but water finds its level. Las Vegas understands what's going on here. The odds makers understand what's going on here. They always find a way to even things out. You might see some trends, you might see a little back and forth, but I wouldn't take too much stock into this. A lot of those numbers were way early in the season.
All right, Scott, what do you say?
I actually take some stock into it. I'm going to be really paying close attention the rest of the year on trying to do the opposite of what those numbers show.
You're George Costanza. You're the opposite of every man
He has a Costanza wallet. I've seen it.
What a great compliment from the guy who looks like he went to a Prince garage sale.
I look good.
I mean, what are you, the Joker?
He's feeling good. Look at this button. It has so many buttons undone.
There's not a teenage girl in America that doesn't want this poster hanging up in their bedroom.
Easy on that one. But I would just say, I think this actually works for you. You kind of are the man that, you know.
It gives him a little extra swagger.
See, Hammer's really known for radio, you know, and a lot of his listeners probably don't know what he looks like. And now they're seeing the Macho Man is Jason Allen Hammer this week.
Right,
a lot of people say I remind them of a young Sam Elliott with my new facial hair.
Can Sam Elliott do picks? Can Sam Elliott win people money? We're going to see. All right, let's get to some more bets.
Show, right?
Yeah, Sam Elliott isn't picking winners the way that your boy is here. And listen, the Raiders are a mess. They have to have a sign up at the practice facility that says X amount of days without a scandal. From the Gruden scandal to Henry Ruggs killing a woman to one of their first-round draft picks brandishing a gun. It's been a mess, but you know what? They've actually played better with all of this stuff going on. It's the NFL. You can't figure it out sometimes. I like the Raiders in this spot. Raiders are getting 2.5 points. They're at home. They're in Vegas. This is a Kansas City Chiefs team that has burned me multiple times this year. Listen, it is what it is. They are struggling right now. I don't know if the Raiders win this game, but I think they keep it within a field goal. I'll take the Raiders 2.5.
Ooh, I like that a lot. Scott, your pick.
Before I tell you my pick, I just want to give Hammer a little bonus on that. The last 20 games, Chiefs have won 4 against the spread, lost 16. This is a total fade on the Chiefs offense. Last week, the Chiefs played a Division II quarterback. That's how Jordan Love played with the Packers, and they still barely won the game, the Chiefs. They scored 13 points against the Packers. This spread's way too high. This is a 2019-2020 Chiefs offense spread. This feels more like a 45-point game, not a 52.5. So I like the Raiders, but my money especially is on the under.
The under. All right, I like that. Well, it's about time for another break, fellas.
All right.
But guess what? Coming up, Scott, we have your favorite segment, the long shots coming up. Also, if you're a baller but you're on a budget, we got you. We're going to ball on a budget, turn $5 into 60.
We're going to get rich today, kids.
The Long Shot, presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook.
Ah, yes, you know what time it is. Oh,
here come the readers.
Flex, the readers, come on.
Grandpa's putting his readers on.
It's so true. It's sad. It's sad.
Oh, man. Scott Long, okay, boldly back the Denver Broncos at 10-point underdogs.
Let's hear this.
Okay.
Sorry.
He boldly backed them. 10-point underdogs last week.
Right.
Not only did the Broncos cover, they won outright in dominant fashion against Dallas. So, Scott, taking it to you, which long shot you feeling this week?
Let me first talk about the readers. I have a theory. I didn't need even glasses till I was in my 40s, and then I found out that this is very typical. When you're in your early 40s, if you don't need glasses, you need them then. So I think that's God's way of keeping people in their relationship, okay? Hear me out.
This has been Church Chat with Scott Long.
Just
Sunday.
bet this, you'll know it's the right side, okay? My wife, I will not let her get LASIK surgery for that reason, because I don't need her coming with 20/20 vision looking at me and like seeing me how I am now. I used to be a very handsome man. You saw photos from when I was in my 20s. Okay, so Panthers, here's what I'm on the Panthers. Cardinals have been just impossible pretty much to beat against the spread, but they're losing player after player each week. And why do I like the Panthers? Sam Darnold's gone. That's a good team. Sam Darnold is the reason they have losses. Now, I don't even know, this guy's named PJ Walker. I don't even know anything about him. I know a professional.
Former Colt.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, that's not making me feel great. Eason, they kept Eason, but they got rid of him. But Walker's an athlete. They'll figure out a way to win, at least cover the 9. I like the Panthers today.
All right, we're gonna do ballin' on a budget in just a moment, but first, next play for you.
Okay, so that's your long shot.
The long shot.
I will see your long shot
really?
and raise you a longer
Wait a
shot.
minute. No.
This pick here is long, and it's strong, and it's down to get the money on.
There we go.
McKinzie, you want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts. The Washington football team getting 10 points against the Buccaneers here. I don't think they'll win the game. I don't, but I don't need them to win the game. I need them to stick around. And sometimes that backdoor cover, that garbage time field goal or touchdown is the degenerate gambler's best friend, and I happen to be a degenerate gambler. I like the football team here. I think they give you enough defense to keep this respectable. I don't even need it to be close. I need it to be respectable, and I'll take 10 points.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. I like it. You're like, you get the shakes when you talk about the degenerate because you're so.
Well, I get the shakes when I don't have a beverage before 7 a.m., but you do you.
That's true. All right, where the ball is at? All right, this one's called Ballin' on a Budget. You know the drill. Okay, so basically, 4-leg parlay, $5 to win 61. This is pretty nice. Ballin'
Right.
on a budget. You don't have to be rolling, but you want to make some cash. We got you.
Right, so you got to get all of these right to win. Parlay bets are hard. Some people call them sucker bets, but it's the equivalent, and Scott's broken this down in a beautiful way, the scratch-off lottery ticket.
It is.
If you got just $5, you willing to have a chance at 61? Let's play. We're going to go under 50 in the Rams and 49ers on Monday night. Again, that Rams offense just seemed a little out of sync, and we're going to see if that carries over into Monday. We're going to go over 53.5, Minnesota and the Chargers. I think this is going to be a shootout. I really do. I like this game. I think you're going to go over on that one. Kansas City and the Raiders. I'll go along with the esteemed representative from Iowa, and we'll take the under on that one, and the Colts -10. You need all of these things to happen, but you get a full Sunday and maybe even a Monday out of your $5 of football enjoyment, and you could win $60.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Scott, you like that?
I like that I could actually read them.
Yeah, exactly.
There was like some kind of font that, you know, like when, I don't know, like somehow somebody messes with your email and the font is about this big, and I gotta grab my readers.
Grandpa's got to put the
I gotta put
readers
them
back on.
And then I gotta get strong, and then like a magnifying
And then you're like
glass.
asking your kids,
So
what does it say?
I thought it was really smart actually, because we didn't know if you won or lost your balling on a budget, because no one could read it last week. So this week we know you're on the clock.
See, look at our producer, Peter. He made the font
You can't
bigger.
see.
That's why he
Under
gets
the
paid the
box.
big bucks.
He did.
All right, we've already given you plenty winners today, but guess what? More to come. Jason and Scott are going to give you their best bets, plus your Larceny locks. They're coming up next.
The Larceny Lock is brought to you by Larceny Bourbon. Steal a taste.
Ken, thanks for sticking around. You'll be glad you did, because these next picks, the best bets of the day. That's right, we call them our Larceny locks. Hammer, the honor is yours.
All right, let's do it. Gave you a little preview in the ballin' on a budget here, but I like the over in this Vikings and Chargers game, 53.5. I could see this easily being a 33-30 type of game here. And if that happens, your toes are more than tapping. You beat that over a long time ago. So we're going to go over on this one. I'm not somebody that always says bet the over. but it's more fun to root for the overs, right? You always feel like you have a chance when you're betting on the overs. I think you're going to see some offense. I don't like either one of these defenses, really, especially the Chargers. Over 53.5, that's my play today.
Ooh, I like it. Scott, what you got?
This is a fade certain teams week, okay? So I look at the Titans, who really, they have had a remarkable run. They beat the Rams, they beat the Chiefs, they beat the Colts, and now last week they beat the Rams without Derrick Henry, but that game was given to them.
Matthew Stafford gave that one away.
He really gave it to him. And the Saints have a great coach, a guy that is not going to allow, look, Trevor Siemian, Matthew Stafford, who do you want? Well, of course you want Matthew Stafford, but they're playing around their strengths. The Saints are winning games through probably as good a defense as there is in the NFL. I understand that Kamara's out, but they've had a lot of success with Mark Ingram. You look at that line, you're like, that line smells. How are the Titans not more than a 3-point favorite? They've been very lucky. I can't be against the Titans anymore after this game, though. I've lost. My record has not been good because of the stupid Titans. I remember the Titans, and they're stupid. And in my house, my wife gets mad when our kids say stupid, but I'm on a TV show where I drink and they pay me for it, so it's not stupid. That's the worst advice ever. Just bet the Saints and let's keep our fingers crossed.
This is one of my favorite Scott rants ever.
Oh my gosh.
So imagine somebody tunes in an hour ago and they see great breakdown
Yes.
from AC
Yes.
and Ken Dilger.
I know.
They run an errand, they come back, they turn their TV on. The Titans are stupid.
That's what this show is all
And we
about.
both have winning records, so what do you say
Let's
on
do
that?
it.
Oh my
Do it.
God.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
And they're
I thought you were like one of those germ dudes, so I just
Feeling
wanted to go
really
for the
good.
cheers. I didn't know what we were doing.
I think it's time to take another break.
I
But hey,
need a name tag that says germ dudes. I'm ready to get one of those.
keep it right here. As you can see, anything can happen. Hammer, he's ready to give you some of his favorite and least favorite player prop bets. We're going to do a little thing we like to call prop lock or drop it.
Let's do it.
Next. Whew. We're having too much fun. Hey, reminder, you can stream us live. WISHTV.com is a spot. Shout out to some folks in Florida streaming us right now. Yeah,
You
love
need to
that.
have a dedicated camera on you at all times.
Yes.
Because during the commercial break, having McKinzie do the pop, lock, and drop it dance is fantastic.
It's a treat. That's right. That's right. It is a treat. Well, I love it. I mean, everybody, if you know Huey, you know pop, lock, and drop it.
Once
So we
again,
like to
have
do
no
prop, lock,
idea
and drop
who
it.
he is. I don't know.
Oh man,
No idea.
Scott, just roll with us. All right, we're gonna make some prop bets. It's gonna be amazing. Basically, Hammer, you wanna get into it? Are you ready?
So this is a segment we call Prop Lock and Drop It, where we give you some prop bets and I'll tell you whether to lock it in and go over, or drop it down, go under, or ignore it altogether.
Okay, so let's get into our first one. First up, we have Buccaneers. Wide receiver Mike Evans, under 73.5 receiving yards against the Washington football team. You gonna lock it or drop it?
I am going to drop this down low. We're going to go under. I'm going to make this bet on the under because I think you're going to see Mike Evans get a double team today. The Buccaneers are banged up at wide receiver. Tom Brady's still going to throw the ball, but that's a big number. And again, it's on the road. I think Washington's defense shows up a little bit. They've been overrated all year, but this is the one game where they can kind of rise up, give their fans a little something to be happy about. We're going to go under Mike Evans, 73.5 receiving yards.
Okay, I like it. Next up, we got Rams star Cooper Kupp. Oh yeah, leads the league in receiving yards this season. But does he go over 94.5 versus the 49ers Monday evening? Lock or drop?
This kind of goes along with Jonathan Taylor, right? People have been making easy money on Cooper Kupp all season long. Well, last time I checked, the house always wins. The odds makers will eventually get even. They have jacked up the numbers on Cooper Kupp. 94.5. That's a slot receiver. At the end of the day, it's still a slot receiver. He's not going to catch the home run balls. He might have 10 catches, but 94.5 is a big number. We're going to go under this one. I'm going to lock it in, but we're going to go under.
Locking it, but under. All right,
I
let's
resent the name Cooper Kupp. I don't know as a
Why?
parent why you would name your son Cooper if his name's Kupp. It's just ridiculous. I mean, it's not to the level of Dick Trickle, but I mean, it's
Oh,
it's
God rest his soul.
Yes, but, I mean, what's going on here, Cooper Kupp family? You could have John Cup, Bob Cup, any of them.
Athletic Cup.
Well, that would be a John.
That's solid.
So go ahead.
What
Let's
about
see what
just
the
D?
next one is.
That's solid. All right, last one, Falcons rookie tight end. We have Kyle Pitts over 74.5 receiving yards against the Cowboys today. Lock in or drop in?
I'm going to lock this in, and I'm going to win a Falcons bet one way or the other in my lifetime. And if it has to be a player prop, so let it
Never
be.
works, Hammer. It never works.
I may be
No Falcons bets.
over my lifetime betting on the Atlanta Falcons.
Yes.
That may be a thing, but Kyle Pitts can play, and he's the favorite target of the Falcons right now, and Matt Ryan. Each week, he's getting more and more looks. Each week, he's getting better. We're going to go over this one. I think the Cowboys are going to have the lead in this game, which means the Falcons have to throw the ball to try to stay in it. And if they're throwing the ball, they're looking at Kyle Pitts, the tight end.
You should have your own Twitter handle that says, "Fade my Falcons pick." People, Jim Cramer could never match the returns that is involved with what going against. I mean, I hate the Falcons too. They're just impossible to bet. Send us a tweet if you've ever actually made money on the Falcons.
No one has ever won a Falcons bet. No one, ever. That changes
Prove us
today.
wrong. We
Okay.
love it. All right, we got to go to break, but don't go anywhere. Ryan Kramer set to join us in Wise Guys segment. Plus, Hammer and Scott will give you their final NFL picks coming up next.
Hey, welcome back to All Indiana Bets. This is the Wise Guys segment. My name is Peter Hood. That's the Wise Guy over there, Ryan Kramer from the Sports Gambling Podcast. And my friend, we said you were due for a 2-0 week last week, and the gambling gods were on our side. 2-0 indeed. Now we're ready to get hot, man. Where are we going to try to make it 3 in a row?
Well, we're going to stay hot, and we're going to stay hot in Indy because, boy, this Jags team, there's nothing I like more than fading them coming off a win, and that's the situation we're in here. Meanwhile, Indy, they have the kind of team, and we saw it last Thursday, of course, coming off a long rest, that can get out ahead of teams with that running game, with that offensive line, and hopefully not let them back into the game. So we're going to lay the big number with the Colts, and I would absolutely play it up to 13. I think you're probably going to see 10.5s, maybe even 11s on Sunday. This should go. This will get bet up, I think. So lay it up to 13. I think that's a safe number to stop at.
All right, a lot of confidence in the Colts. Our audience certainly going to love to hear that. Play number 2 for you this week. Ryan, lay it on us.
Let's head to Sunday Night Football. And at this point, I think it's okay for us to say it out loud. The Chiefs might not be good. Patrick Mahomes is working through some stuff. So I expect Las Vegas to be up for this game after a strange week last week where they dropped the game to the Giants. I like them catching the 2.5. I like them on the money line, and I expect them to they're just a better team. So I'm still shocked we're getting a home dog here against the Kansas City Chiefs.
If people want to find your picks, tell them where they should go.
SportsGamblingPodcast.com. Head over to wherever you listen to your fine podcasts and type in Sports Gambling Podcast. We're hitting on college football. We're hitting on college basketball, and of course, the National Football League.
Again, that's Ryan Kramer. My name is Peter Hood. This has been the Wise Guys segment. And McKinzie, we're going to send it now back over to you.
All right. Thanks, fellas. Ryan Kramer, very smart man.
Did you hear that bass in the background?
Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum. It's kind of like the Isley Brothers or something.
Yeah,
I love
the
that
bass.
music. Peter, you're
God is
killing it.
everybody's uncle at a wedding right there.
Yeah! Let me give the toast.
When you turn on like
Take the mic from
September by Earth, Wind, and Fire,
Gets his
that's
little
what
10.
happens.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you wrote those down. All right, while we're at it, we're going to make some more money. Last picks of the day. Who wants to go first?
I do.
Scott? All right.
Come on, I'm everybody's uncle.
Uncle Scooter.
So the Broncos are -1. Hammer, you liked the Eagles in this game when it was what?
3.
3.
It was 3 on Wednesday.
Yeah, and see, there you go. If you really like a game a lot, check early because that spread, if you're dynamite, like that number seems wrong, play it on Wednesday. Hammer would have. He would have lost on that, by the way. If that worked out well. I love the Broncos in this. This is the only game that I can't fade. Broncos played perfectly last week. I just think the Eagles are a train wreck. I've watched them all season. They run the ball decently, but I think the Broncos I thought was a quality team at the start of the year. They kind of had some obstacles. Now that Teddy Bridgewater's back and he covers almost every game that he's in, I like them in this situation. I think that Vic Fangio is a better coach than the rookie coaches over at the Eagles. Take the -1, take it to the bank. Maybe do some of those dances that you get from our show, and you'll feel really good. Like me right now, the uncle that's maybe had one too many drinks.
I love
Somebody
it.
needs to cut Grandpa off from the bar.
No, we're Ubering him home. All right, Hammer, what you got?
Okay, so I'm not as in love with the Broncos as Scott is because I think last week was a complete anomaly. I think the Cowboys overlooked it. I think this was a huge game for the Broncos. I don't expect either team to look the way they did last week, so I want to focus on the Cowboys here. I think they're going to get refocused. They've got a Falcons team coming into their house that can't stop anybody defensively. 8 is doable here. And again, this is a game that I'm picking against the Atlanta Falcons. I am 0 for my lifetime in picking the Atlanta Falcons, but today is my Independence Day. I will not go quietly into the night. I will survive. This is my Independence Day. The Cowboys lay the 8, take that to the bank. Zeke Elliott gets in the end zone, and I'm cracking champagne for my first ever win against the Falcons.
Woo, you feel that passion.
Please,
I love it.
please, the producer, tape that because we're going to show why Hammer should never do that again. It'll be an intervention against the Falcons, but I hope you're going to score.
Well, we shall see.
Independence Day. We're celebrating.
Okay.
All right, when we come back, we're going to head over from our bar to another bar, O'Reilly's Irish
right.
Bar and Restaurant, for another episode of On the Rocks. This time, you are going to learn how to make yourself a fine little serenade. Other side of the break. We'll be right back.
On the Rocks is brought to you by Evan Williams. Bourbon done right.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to On the Rocks. My name is Brent Holverson, Regional Sales Manager for Indiana for Heaven Hill Brands. And today I come to you from O'Reilly's Pub in beautiful downtown Indianapolis. Got our Global Whiskey Ambassador, Mr. Bernie Lovers. Bernie, good to see you again.
Good to be here.
Proprietor here, Mr. Joel Reitz. Joel, pleasure. What do you got going on for us today?
Welcome, 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 guys. This is called the Serenade.
Ooh.
Like a serenade of sound on your ears, this is a serenade of taste on your palate. With the Evan Williams we're using for this cocktail, it has notes of ginger, apple, and a little bit of black pepper in it. So I made a syrup with fresh cucumbers and Himalayan sea salt. We're gonna add a little elderflower to it and the Himalayan sea salt rim.
Very cool. Evan Williams, the engine that pulls the Heaven Hill Distillery train. Number 2 selling bourbon in the world. It's probably what a lot of your customers drink at home. Aged for 5 years, 86 proof. We typically age our whiskeys a little bit longer and put them in the bottle just a little bit stronger. And that's kind of our house style.
Gentlemen, the Serenade.
How about that? Don't see a salted rim with bourbon too much. That's pretty dang cool.
Well, I'm excited to serenade the palate here. Cheers. Oh, wow. Outstanding. Come try one of these out. See these guys down here at O'Reilly's, and check us out next time on The Rocks. Cheers.
Man, that looks so good. Today, I'm just going straight larceny. Ice and larceny, this is what champions drink. And champions are gonna make the picks that we're getting ready to show you right here. This is how we're gonna make our money today, boys and girls. We're going to start with the Colts, -10. It's a big number, but you can't forget, Jacksonville stinks. So let's go with the Colts at home, -10. Raiders, +2.5. They're a circus, they're a zoo, and for whatever reason, they're playing better. Kansas City is a bit of a hot mess right now. We'll take the points at home. The football team getting 10. At home, getting 10 points. Sooner or later, that defense has to keep things close. Minnesota and the Los Angeles Chargers, I like the over in this game. This feels like a 33-30 kind of game to me. And history will be made when I finally win a bet featuring the Atlanta Falcons. The Cowboys lay the 8, bounce back after an anomaly last week.
I hope. I'd like to see it.
That's going to happen. Get the champagne ready, the finest cheeses you can find. We're going to celebrate tonight like it's 1999. And I say that as I wear my Prince purple jacket.
Yes, nice move. And by the way, you notice I didn't even tuck my shirt in. That's how loose I'm feeling today. I feel like I'm most of the viewers right now. My pick's coming up, Colts. Okay, we both like the Colts. I think we've done that before and it hasn't turned out well, so it's time to turn out well. Under 52.5. I just am fading the Chiefs. I just don't think they are a quality offense anymore, but their defense has actually risen a little bit. It's interesting how that worked. That's a huge game in the AFC West.
It is.
Panthers +9. That is so much about how much I think Sam Darnold wrecked the Carolina Panthers. I think they'd have at least one more win. So we're taking the fourth stringer from the Colts to be better than
Walker
Sam
Mania,
Darnold.
baby, running wild.
The Saints +3. I really love the Saints in this spot. I think the Saints are a high-quality team without a quarterback, but they've got two of them that I love how Sean Payton uses them. And I think today, that's the day the Titans go down. Doesn't matter for the Colts anyway, but hey, okay. Broncos -1. This really is often a fade of the Eagles. I know that, I don't know. I just don't feel good about the Eagles, the way, the direction they're going. I think the Broncos knew that they felt so good about their defense, they dumped Van Miller for a really high quality. Is it Vaughn?
Von Miller.
I'm not taking the Jags today because I can't pronounce it, and now I can't. It's Vaughn. You're right. Once again, I like Van.
You're thinking of Van Morrison. That's who you're thinking of.
I think Van Wilder would be more like you. So those are our picks. Last week you were 4-1.
We're rolling. We're rolling here. We're making
3-2.
money.
We are both well over 500 on the show for the NFL picks. Make some money right now.
Now, let's go to our producer, Peter.
No.
Because ever since he took this show over, he's been writing himself more and more into the show.
That.
So it kind of feels like this is something we have to do whether we like it or not. So Peter, please give us your pick.
That's the beautiful thing about being the producer. You get to make the calls. Listen, yesterday I faded Scott Long hard. And I learned a tough lesson there, okay?
Don't tug on Superman's cape.
Don't go against Scott in college football. So, Scott, I'm actually with you a little bit on the Saints. I like the Saints, but I like the Saints defense here, and I like the Titans defense as well. And for that reason, we are going to go under. Obviously, we know no Alvin Kamara. We know no Derrick Henry. Like you said, the Titans got gift-wrapped 2 touchdowns by the Rams last week. I think they're going to struggle against this Saints defense. I think this Saints offense is going to struggle against a Titans defense that has been playing really well. They have dominated teams up front lately. I think this is a low-scoring game. I think somewhere in the neighborhood of 20-17. We cash the under at 43.5, and Peter gets his first win on All Indiana Bets. What do you say?
I hate the fact that you refer to yourself in third person, and I'm openly rooting against you this week.
It's my show, Hammer. I can do what I want.
Jimmy likes Elaine. Thank you, Peter. All right, when we come back, McKenzie's going to come back on the show because we give the people what they
All Indiana Bets, presented for the people, powered by Caesars Sportsbook.
Welcome back. In a moment, we have a feast for the eyes you don't want to miss. But first, it's time for the world-famous Mick pick here on All Indiana Bets. All right, I like the Packers -3.5 against the Seahawks. After having to sit out last week, Aaron Rodgers will be back under center for Green Bay this afternoon. You know he's going to be ready to prove himself after sitting on the couch listening to everybody pretty much just bash him for 2 weeks straight. So give me Rodgers and the Pack and lay the 3.5. That is the Mick pick. All right, before we go, though, I want to take some time to congratulate one of our own. Okay, you may have seen Paul Rudd named People Magazine's sexiest man alive earlier this week, but did you know our very own Jason Hammer also recognized with a pretty big honor?
I didn't hear about this.
Take a look.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yes.
There we go.
Sexiest man in Beach Grove, baby.
If you look at that picture long enough, you'll get pregnant.
Look away. Look, oh, my eyes.
Hey, Mackenzie, I don't know if you heard, Alan Cashman and I were tied at Fisher's. So, our own wise guy, college on fire, Alan Cashman. Cheers to him. Hey, Jason, now, did you get that at like Kings Island? Where did you get that?
That was
ticket?
awesome.
That was nice.
Don't worry about it. That's on stock. That's hanging up in Beech Grove High School. I'm a part of their Hall of Fame. Did you know that?
Beech Grove High School.
Wow.
Yes.
Hey, are the
two-time class president, high school Hall of Famer. When I go back to that joint, people roll out the red carpet.
I like that tag
Hey,
you have
are the
going
two
on.
moms that got in a fight in the Walmart, are they part of the Hall of Fame too of Beech Grove?
They are not.
No, they
are not,
be.
unfortunately.
I want to have a petition. Go fund me for those two guys.
When they asked me to do the show, this is why I get to sit next to you two.
Thank you.
Kickoff is coming up next. Good luck, everybody.
Cheers to you guys.
May the odds be ever in your favor. Go Colts.
Woo!
By more than 10.
Let's make some
Yes.
money.